Good afternoon, class. Next week we're going to start reading the Odyssey, but before we can do that we have to go over the hero's journey. So there are 12 steps in the hero's journey. So think of it as a clock. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 12 steps to the hero's journey, starting with 1 and all the way to 12. So 1 is the ordinary world. This is where we are introduced to our hero, and he's usually introduced to us in a way that makes us sympathize with him in his life, because if we didn't like him, he would not be the hero, he would be the villain. Then number 2 is call to adventure. This is the point in the story when something or someone comes up to the hero and tells them, hey, we need you to do this because you're special and you've been called to do this. Like when King Arthur pulled the sword out of the stone. Or when Luke was approached by Obi-Wan Kenobi and told he needed to train to be a Jedi to defeat Darth Vader and the Emperor. Okay, our step 3 is the refusal of the call. This is the point in the story where the hero refuses to become the hero. He or she does not want to accept the challenge or the task that the person has set forth. Okay. Step 4 is meets with mentor. This is the point where our hero meets with his or her mentor, like Luke and Obi-Wan, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Dumbledore from Harry Potter, and so on. Step 5 is crossing the threshold. This is the point where the hero comes to this point where he has to say goodbye to the ordinary world. In the first Lord of the Rings movie, when Sam is crossing his threshold, you see yellow grass, and from back is the ordinary world, and then he gets to the end of the yellow, and then there's green grass, which is the new world. So that is his threshold, when it's literally crossing over the threshold. And Star Wars is when Luke leaves his home planet of Tatooine and goes to rescue Princess Leia. Okay, our 6th step, well, not really a step, it's tests, allies, and enemies. This is where our hero is set with tasks, like when Luke has to rescue Leia, then they have to destroy the Death Star. He gets allies. In Luke, it was Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Leia, Princess Leia. And enemies. For Harry Potter, it's Malfoy, whatever his name is. And Luke's is Darth Vader. If you've seen Aragorn, his enemy, he has a different enemy in each book, but in the first book, it is the Shade, Durza, but his overall enemy is Galbatorix. Okay, our 7th step is the approach. This is the point where our hero is faced with death, but he comes back and he's stronger than ever. Okay, our 8th step is the ordeal. Hold on, back up. 7, the approach, is major challenges that the hero is faced with. Then 8 is the ordeal. This is where he faces death. In Star Wars, that's when Luke gets his hand cut off by Darth Vader and he almost dies. Okay, our 9th step is the reward. Okay, this is where the hero is presented with some sort of treasure or prize for doing the deeds that he's done. Okay, so step 10 is the road back. This is where the hero starts to go home. This is where things start to dwindle down to peace and everything being safe again. Okay. 11, this is where the hero faces death for real. He's resurrected, comes back stronger once again. And then 12 is the return. The hero returns home, and he's a hero now, and now he has to get back to ordinary life. Now, sometimes the hero never goes back. In the original prequels, the original Star Wars movies, Luke never goes back home to his home planet. We never see that. In the Eragon book series, Eragon never goes home. He goes to train other dragons that he and Saphira found. So it all depends on on the hero. Now, not all of these are exactly in this order all the time. Sometimes a few of these are combined into one. But this is overall the things that a hero must go through to become a hero. Okay? So, any questions?